Hello, and welcome to the live stream live. It's me, Joshua Schubart. I hope you are having a beautiful evening. What is it, Tuesday? I think it's Tuesday. I'm sorry, I'm out of sorts. I've been crazy with rehearsal at the Metropolitan Opera for The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay. Hi, I have a wonderful, amazing person on tonight. His name is Ken Srubinski, and he is the owner-operator, master brewer, and everything else of Secatogue Brewing Company in West Islip, New York, out on Long Island, which happens to be right around where I live. I won't tell you specifically where I do because I don't want you showing up to my house, but it is a wonderful place that I am at probably too much, but that's because it's got great beer, great people, and a wonderful atmosphere, and we'll meet him soon. But as usual, we are going to talk about what I'm watching, what I'm reading, and what I'm feeling. So I am currently still watching Alien Earth. If you have not been watching Alien Earth, I don't know why the fuck you haven't been doing so. It's probably one of the best things to happen to the Alien franchise since the original, or Aliens, which is the sequel, because it has an S at the end. But it just really goes into the lore really well. We really get a really great look at the mega companies that own the world and most of space, and just how things go about in a oligarchy, an oligarchy run by corporations, which feels like it's getting closer and closer every day. But so while it's currently not a documentary, it is a beautiful work of science fiction that I think everyone should check out. Has anyone else been watching it? Anyone else in chat? Let me know. Also, there's been a lot of kerfuffle online on my Instagram specifically about my beard being gone, and I won't apologize for it. I can't. This is my face. This is what I look like. I'm a very handsome man. I've got dimples and a nice smile. So I apologize for being so handsome, not because I don't have a beard anymore. And you're just gonna have to deal with it. I'm an actor, and I have to constantly change what I look like for work. So sometimes I'll have crazy facial hair. Sometimes I'll have none at all, but know that it's still me, and everything's going to be okay. I am currently reading The Hedge Knight by George R.R. Martin. Just trying to read anything around what he made originally, because he'll never finish Game of Thrones. He will never finish that fucking series, and I've been waiting for the last book for what feels like my entire life. But The Hedge Knight, which I know is a few years old now and is already going to be turned into an HBO series, is about a hedge knight 100 years before Game of Thrones, and this poor knight's journey to fame and fortune, and he takes on a squire who he does not know is the one of the heirs to the throne, who has been like out on his own. He's a young boy who hates his family, and he's trying to basically make his own life. So it's fun. It's a fun romp through George R.R. Martin's Game of Thrones world, but 100 years in the past. So, and I love that shit. I'm a huge nerd. I love a lot of fantasy. I love me some fantasy. So this is exactly what I want to read. So, yeah. What do you guys read? Do you guys read anything? You guys read? Let me know in the comments. All right. So as for what I'm feeling, I have a lot of emotions going on inside of me every day. Both hope and rage and pain for my fellow man and immigrants and blah 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 and people overseas and everything that's been going on in the world. Um, I am heartened by seeing people getting out and using their voice. I am heartened by people bothering their elected officials. I am heartened by people being proactive and wanting positive change. I've spoken about this numerous times in the beginning of many episodes, and you can yell and scream and post and do all the shit that you feel like you need to do, um, but if you're not taking any type of actionable um, I'm trying if you're not taking action, like if you're not at the very least emailing or calling your el- elected officials to bring about change, other people are almost every single day about things that affect your life. And if you feel very, very passionate about a subject, you should do the same, because it's part of what we do here in America. So we should take advantage of that, because that can really move the needle. Even if you don't think it can, that process is there specifically so that it can. Um, so if you see stuff that you don't agree with, or that you're not happy with, or that you want changed, let people know that can change things, or go tell them with other people, or go march, go whatever you need to do to get your message across. Um, there's a lot to talk about, and I can't possibly talk about it all now. So that's how I feel about it. Um, as always, I am supportive of my immigrant friends and my LGBTQIA plus friends and my trans friends and my people of color friends, and just everybody that is going through it and trying to understand what's going on and what could possibly change, and whether it's like marriage laws or green card laws or airport issues, blah blah blah. um I love you. I'm hearing you, and I completely support you, and I love you. um that's what I'm feeling. I'm also very tired. I'm also feeling that too. I have two kids. One just started pre-K and she's loving it, and my other just turned 7 months, and I love that too. But I'm also re- rehearsing an opera Monday through Saturday, and I'm auditioning, and I'm exercising, and I'm hydrating, and I'm getting my steps in, and I'm just going fucking dad crazy. And my next guest knows a little bit about that. Ken is a father of three triplets, that will talk about what the hell that's like, because I believe he him and his wife had them in their 20s. um I believe that me having one kid at a time was fucking insane. So I can't imagine having three at the same time. But they did a great job. They're great kids. They're well adjusted. They're well behaved. They're kind, compassionate, um, just like them. They're Ken and his family are really great, really kind, really genuine people. Um, I met them when they opened their brewery. I'm not from where they're from. I moved to where they're from. Um, and so there's a built-in, like, hey, I know you, you're from this town, we went to school together. And I remember I walked in, and they made me feel like I was part of something, like that I was part of the gang, which for me is kind of important. And also, I mean, I think for like a lot of people, it's important. Um, and then, you know, and then Ken let me shoot one of my movies in his fucking brewery. And that was really incredible. And that's a thing that sticks with you for forever, really. I mean, and it's why I wanted to have him on. He has been, him and his family have been so supportive of me and what I do, that I thought it was well past time for you all to meet him and to understand what he and his family do. So without further ado, let me bring up Ken. Hey, bud.
Hey.
How's it going?
What's going on?
Nothing. I'm doing this live stream. It's pretty cool. Right now. It's wild. Yeah. How's it going?
It's going well.
That's good. Yeah. You were on News 12 the other day.
I was. I don't know how much of it my interview made it on, but I was interviewed. Yeah, we did a car show at the brewery for it was the West Sides of Breast Cancer Coalition. Second year we've done it. Raised over like $4,800 this year, which was great last year. It was great turnout, great time. Yeah, I'm doing it again next year.
That's cool. So when events like that happen, do people come to you? Do you like look for things to
I mean, I'd say it's pretty 50-50. We definitely have people who reach out for things like that, and then there are things that we will do like on our own, or link up with other organizations. We've done stuff for PS I Love You Day. We've done stuff with the Breast Cancer Coalition. And then anything from local, like the high school swim team, local sports teams, dance troops, whatever. We do a lot of fundraising, a lot of local community stuff like that.
Well, that's really cool. I mean, and that's kind of at like the heart to me of like what a brewery is, right. Like beer has always been this thing that has brought people together, even way back, when we were planning our like revolutionary aspirations as a country. Beer is what we would plan over.
Right.
It's a great. Also, it kept us all alive because you had to like boil the water.
It's kind of come back to that in recent years to the community brewery, the local brewery, which was gone for 20, 30, 40 years, 50 years in this country.
Right.
Pre-prohibition, there was a brewery, almost on every block. And now we've exploded, and there's some shrinking in the industry, but that's just a sign of the times. But no, it's nice to be like a local community focused brewery. And that's not something we planned on when we were like, looking for sites. We never thought we'd end up in our hometown.
Yeah.
It was just, almost dumb luck with that. And couldn't be happier with where we landed, where we're at. And, the community really embraced us as we, kind of hoped they would. And it's just nice to become a part of the community. We're a place where people, like many breweries now, people are comfortable to bring your kids there because it's not a bar scene. It's it's a little different.
It's very interesting. Yeah. Like it's turned into like people bring like 1,000 kids.
Right. Right. Which, it's not, it's not like I like to say we're family friendly. But we're not like catering to kids in any way. There's
right. There's no toys. There's no slides or anything.
Slides, sippy cups, nothing like that. We still serve beer. We have the food trucks. We do have, non-alcoholic options. But we're not catering specifically towards the families. It's just, we've created a nice place where people feel comfortable bringing their families and their kids, and we're okay with that.
Well, that's cool. So let's rewind, because I jumped right into now. But like, why beer, dude? Like, when did you start, and what made you want to do that?
So started it's like forever now. But it was just something started as a home brewer. I was screwing around in my kitchen, and then the smell got a little too intense for the kitchen, so it had to get kicked into the backyard. And then it just kind of rolled out of control. Like it was just, something that became started as a hobby. And then it was like, hey, we could really do something with this. And, snowball. And now I'm brewing, you know, more in a day than I was in a year and a half at home.
Right.
And you know, it was just something I knew I always wanted to, you know, be in business for myself, have my own business, work for myself. And this was just the avenue for that. And, you know, it's working out.
Yeah, it seems to be, which is good. And you work primarily with your brothers.
Right. Yeah, it is a family business. It was originally started. It was my father and I started it. And then, yeah, my brothers jumped on board. You know, my mom's a part of it too.
Yeah, it's your whole family.
Full on family affair.
It's your whole family business now, which is cool. Like that's a thing that we need in our communities. Is like we don't need more like Papa John's. We need more stuff like what you opened.
Yeah, small business is, you know,
it's the backbone of America.
It is.
But it really is. And your spot brought a much needed, like, cool place to go in where we live. Like, not that we live a place that's like boring, but we don't have a lot of stuff. We have a lot of cool stuff around us in like other towns, but we got a lot of Chinese food and a lot of pizza places and like an overabundance amount of that. So
more places to hang out.
Or there's, you know, you can hang out in the parking lot or you can hang out in the fucking 7-Eleven, but you know, there was nowhere to go. And and I feel like things started to like pop up more because you guys opened.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't want to take credit because God knows nobody's giving me credit. But you know, it has, like, we were kind of the first new thing on, you know, Union Boulevard where we're at, and now that whole strip is kind of, you know, exploding with new businesses, restaurants, Pilates studios, dog groomers, you know, you name it, everything's popping up now, which is nice to see.
Another pizza place, which is what we need. Another one. Yeah.
All right. You know, more pizza, as long as they're all doing well, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
We love pizza. Yeah, no, it's good. It's cool. Cause, you know, growing up in this town my whole life, you know, there's been like ebbs and flows, and there's been a lot of empty storefronts for a while, and it's nice to see things filling back in.
Absolutely.
Hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah, sure. So I'm gonna go back to the why beer again, though. So why beer? Like, what about it speaks to you?
So it was kind of like, you know, I was getting into, you know, craft beer was booming. I was getting into that, and it was just something I figured, you know, why not try to make it? And then, you know, I figured, like, found the beers I liked to drink and that weren't necessarily readily available here. You know, this was back in the time when, you know, like Hetty Topper from Alchemist Brewery up in Vermont. You had to know a guy who knew a guy who knew a guy who met somebody in a gas station parking lot for a 4-pack. So, like,
expensive too. Like, it was
expensive.
marked up.
So like, it became easier to learn, you know, for me anyway, to learn how to make that kind of beer. And then, you know, I could just have it. And, you know,
Smart.
it was just kind of rode that wave. But it was, you know, why beer is interesting. I don't know. It just kind of, it fell in my lap. Like, it just, you know, you never know what you're going to be good at or what's going to attract you. And that just, it kind of like took to it right away, and every batch was better than the last, and, you know, just kept rolling with it. And it's, you know, I love what I do. I'm able to do like my other interests with it. Like, you know, I originally went to school for graphic design, so I get to design can labels, like, I design t-shirts, hats, like, you know, posters. Like, that's kind of like my hobbies became my job, which, you know, good and bad, but it's I'm happy most days with it.
No, I totally understand. Like, yeah, like basically like everything that I like is currently monetized.
Right.
So I've managed to keep like playing video games off of that list, and I want to keep it that way.
Right.
but I totally get that. Like, if you know, work at a thing that you really love, then you're not actually working. You're just having a good time.
Right.
Plus, you get to hang out with your brothers and one of your best friends, and, you know, like, it's cool.
Yeah. No, there's There's worse ways to spend the day. I could.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, how does that, so being brothers, how does that work?
As
Like,
what you should expect. Some days and other days it's fine.
yeah.
It's family is family, and you have your ups and your downs, but nobody's going anywhere. Nobody's really mad at each other for that long. It's been dealing with it your whole life, and it's fine. It's fun. It works 90% of
Because
the
there's
time.
an investment there, right? Like,
There's an investment of time.
yeah. Well, like, and when you all win, it works out, like, because you're all gonna succeed.
Right. Everybody's working towards the same goal, so it's working. It's fun.
Yeah. What is this comment? Asking a straight guy why he started making beer is nothing but cruel. All right.
All right.
It's cool. So I was gonna get into it further because I was gonna say that I like what I do. I like acting a lot because you're always trying to be perfect, but you never can be.
Right.
You're like always trying to be better, and that's all you can be. And I feel like maybe because what I do is a craft, and what you also do is a craft,
Right.
Perhaps there's something about that there's this pursuit of being great wrapped up in this thing.
I get that for sure. It's definitely a creative endeavor. It's artisanship, it's cooking, it's there's a lot of wiggle room, and again, right, like there's no perfect performance, there's no perfect beer. Beers taste good, 99% of the time, like, yeah, okay, this tastes great. But I might pick up something that I don't like about a beer, but nobody else is picking up about that. So like I totally understand what you're saying with that. It is that strive for perfection.
Yeah. So how do you land on like a palate, on like an average beer person's palate? Like what are you looking for when you're making something?
So I mean, I guess it kind of depends on the beer, right? We have say 10 taps that I got to work with, and I want to have something for everybody, or at least something that you could try that you're probably gonna like. So that's having a variety of dark beer, or hoppier beer, fruited beer, and then like clean, easy drinking lagers. So it kind of depends on what specific style I'm going for that day, or what kind of beer I'm trying to make that day. But it's kind of gearing towards what I like, what I think other people are going to like, and what customers have fed back to us, like, well, this beer is really good, you got to make this one again and again and again and again, which we definitely have. But I do like, especially with our IPAs, like I like doing something different pretty regularly, just because the variety of hops that
IPAs.
Yeah, I mean, the hops, there's always a new hop every year, like, so this is the new hot thing. Or the New Zealand is better than the Australian. It's like just trying the new things, trying the playing the hits. It's fun. It's good. And you get different flavor profiles from these hops. It could be the same hop, but it was grown in, Oregon instead of Washington, and it's a totally different flavor profile. So it's pretty cool.
Do you have any issues with the like New York brewery rules, where like most of your product needs to be made in New York?
So we don't have that. We have a microbrewer license. We don't have the New York State farm license.
Okay.
So we don't have to abide by that, like the 60% of our ingredients. But that's not to say we don't use New York State ingredients. We've used New York State malt. I was just talking to a New York State malt grower this weekend. We've used New York State hops. We grow our own hops. So we try to keep it as local as possible, but with some of these beers and some of these ingredients, they just don't exist in New York. So we got to go elsewhere.
Sure. So this is going to sound like totally ignorant, but I don't know anything about the industry. But is there like conference that you go to and like this is all the new shit that's being grown?
There is, sometimes they come to you, like the hop growers, the hop suppliers will pay us a visit. They'll bring us samples, mail us samples. There are trade shows for that. There's a national one. I was out in Vegas this year. I did not go. But it's for a smaller brewery like me, like it's might not get a ton out of that as like somebody who's more regionally distributed.
Okay.
But the New York State ones, absolutely, like those are very helpful. And then it's just a way to meet other people in the industry, see what's working for them. We have a Long Island Breweries Guild, which it's all the 34 now Long Island breweries. And we meet every 2 months, and we do collaboration beers, which is out right now. We Care a Lot, Volume 4. It's a Kolsch, very good. And we just had a festival over this weekend. We had a beach fest, and we do little events like that throughout the year.
What is Beach Fest?
So Beach Fest was just this past Saturday. It was 25 Long Island breweries. We were over at Tanner Park in Copeg on the beach.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool to have like an actual beer festival on the beach. Like we are on Long Island, like you'd think it would be easier, but it's not. So luckily we found a venue that was, open to it. And that was the second year we've done it. And, good time. We had live music. And again, we were raising money for the guild itself. We are a nonprofit. And we were raising money for the Harry Chapin Long Island Food Bank, Long Island Cares. That's so
fucking cool. No, it really is. Like, yeah. It's really awesome that you specifically find it in the beer community. Also, it's constantly people are working together, raising money, helping each other out. Like it's this community of folks that seem to want to really help the people around them. Right. It's very interesting that like it's beer and people don't think that's not the association that you get with beer. You get like bikers or like people with beards or the
hipster,
the hipster who like I don't give a fuck guy. Yeah.
No, it's even like the brewing community itself, like brewery to brewery, like you'd think there'd be a big competition, but it's real, like it's not. Like it's so collaborative. It's so, what do you need? What can I do? What can I help with? Like if somebody has an issue, like somebody on the island, like somebody else can help.
Yeah.
I'm out of kegs. Oh, I can get you kegs. Oh, I need this hop. I'm out. Like, my bag was bad. They shorted me, whatever, you name it. There's a community of breweries that we could reach out to and like, yeah, I got you. No problem. And it's no exchange of cash. It's like, oh, you'll get me back. Like it's like, and it's, we're different companies. Like what other industry is like that? Is Coca-Cola buying sugar from Pepsi? No, like screw you, dude. Like like, so it's totally unique in that sense. Like I can't think of another industry that is so collaborative, like business to business, where it's not like you're stepping on my toes, at least on the smaller scale. The big guys, like that's a whole different story. You're talking Anheuser-Busch, all that. That's a totally different game.
That's a totally different ball game. Yeah.
But as far as like the smaller microbrewery, craft brewery community goes, it is like extremely collaborative, and everybody just wants to see everybody succeed.
I'm gonna go back to this, dude. I honestly think it's because it's an art form. Like
there's something to that. I'd say
just because like that's what happens in the arts all the time. Like it's a big community, people helping each other out, trying to like put up a person's play or make a movie or like get somebody's script read or like even if it's not performing arts, it's like every aspect of arts or craft. Like at the craft fairs, I like hear from folks constantly that are in there that like everyone just trades everyone's shit with each other so that they can all just get an understanding of what everybody does, and there's never any money exchanged. So it's really cool, and I'm happy that it's coming back in that way. Yeah, which is really great. What the hell was I just going to ask you? Okay. Yes. So I'm going to flip it a little bit, and we're going to talk about being dads for a second.
Okay.
And like, I know it's nothing about beer, but you very interestingly, at least to me, being a dad, and I think to most other people that will hear this, you had triplets immediately. Immediately. How old were you?
25.
25 with
Yep.
triplets.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
My wife and I were engaged, and we got a big surprise. Very unexpected. Usually, most people who have triplets, it's usually through IVF. We were just luck of the draw, I guess. Roll the dice. Apparently, this can happen. Doesn't run in the family. Just super random cosmic event. And here we are, 10, almost 11 now, 2 boys and a girl. And
that's wild. And we got a wow LOL from Jeffrey Floyd. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. So having one kid at a time, the first couple of weeks, the first couple of months is a hectic nightmare. Was your wife breastfeeding too, or
no? Oh God, no.
Okay, because that would have been a shit show. But,
logistical nightmare.
Yeah.
No. And obviously, being 3, they were premature. They were in the NICU for a while. They're in there about a month. Well, they came home at different times, but month, 6 weeks. And then after that, it's just all chaos. It's kind of a blur, especially the first couple of months.
I'm sure, yeah, because they're just eating and you don't know what's going on and you're trying to adjust. Like, just with one, I thought my life was a fucking like a volcano that was always erupting. With 3, I mean, I probably would have leapt into the road, man.
We kind of always I always say, at least, it's like, I don't know what it's like having 1 kid. I know what it's like having 3 kids. So It was never like if we had one and then this, that, I couldn't imagine that. But it was just okay, this is what we got. This is what we got to do. We had, luckily, my parents are local, her parents are local, and then the whole, friends, family, friends. We had a lot of help early on when we needed it. We still have a lot of help, but it's, we're very fortunate that we were able to make this work. And being so close to family, that we had a ton of help in that aspect.
That's great, because you really do need that.
Right. Because if it was just
when you have 3,
two of us working and raising 3 babies at once, I couldn't.
How old were they when you opened the brewery?
They were, oh God, no, what was 3, 4?
Yeah. So were you?
What year is
it? Yeah, it's 2025. Yeah.
So we opened in 2019. So they were 5. Yeah, 5.
Yeah. And I'll go back to that in a second. I'm gonna put a pin in there because I wanted to talk about that too. But because it's nuts. You opened right before lockdown.
Yeah.
So were you brewing through this time also, through the beginning of your kids' lives?
Yeah, for sure. And that's kind of when it was, I don't want to say that's what pushed me to okay, we're doing this, but it was definitely the it was wood on the fire, okay, let's get this going.
Sure.
It was all during the same time period. I was working a retail job. I was working a photography job on the side. And I knew that wasn't sustainable. It was great for the hours, having to be home for the kids.
Yeah.
But long term wasn't going to work. So yeah, let's open a brewery.
Let's do that. Has being a father changed the way that you brew?
Nah, I wouldn't say it's had an effect there. It's definitely had an effect on how I approach things and how I work, and just time management. but I don't think it's had an effect on like the recipe making or anything of that sort.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I might have gotten inspiration like we did. We did do a fruit roll up gusher beer.
I remember that.
Yeah, one time. It's never happening again. Not because the beer was bad, but just because it was a sticky mess. But yeah, I guess you could say that might have influenced it.
Cool. Yeah. All right. So you opened in 2019, right before we all went into lockdown.
Right.
And yeah, I remember I was there opening day. Everyone was really excited that we had a fucking brewery. And I remember specifically, I walked up to your place and I turned to my wife and I said, "This place better be bad." And like she was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I was like, "If this place is not bad right now, I am never going anywhere else." And it's really bad for my body. Like I was like, it better be like medium beer that they grow into,
Right.
so that I have time for myself. And it was just fucking awesome right away. Which I don't know if that was like you looked at the market and saw that it was crowded and like out of kind of like necessity you were like, I need to like come out of the gate with a bunch of bangers,
Right.
or if that's just how you where you were at that point in your
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of where I was at, but it was also like I'd done so much research. We had done so much, trial and error. I went to, brewery, I don't want to call it a crash course, but like a new brewery startup, like retreat. And that just focused more on the business side of things. So we knew from the jump, and that's the way we designed and picked the location we're at. Like we saw that the breweries without tasting rooms were the ones that weren't doing as well as the ones that had tasting rooms. And we wanted to kind of separate ourselves from that by having like a trendy or upscale tasting room that didn't look, dank and grungy or industrial, which is the way the industry was at the time. Because it was breweries were new, they were getting cheap real estate, and it was like I'm in the back of a commercial yard, like industrial park. That was just what it was. So we kind of jumped on like, hey, let's be a little more forward facing, a little more Main Street, and like have a place where you'd want to hang out and sit for a while, and it kind of worked out. And now it's nice to see like that's where kind of the industry has gone. Like breweries have upgraded their tap rooms or got new spots, just because that's that's where you make better margins on your product, is by getting people to come to you and serving directly.
Because people want to come to a place that's got light and is nice,
light and music
and food. If there's food there, then like people want to go. That's why I go. That's why I go.
The food trucks help too.
Food trucks help. Yeah. Absolutely. So as everything was closing up, you stayed open.
Yeah, we essential workers, worker here. I think they're building a fountain in Babylon.
They are. It's the Secatogue brewery fountain, and it's for you.
It's for essential workers.
And for essential workers.
Technically, I was an essential worker. Not technically, I was an essential worker.
Yeah.
Gotta keep the masses opiated. We stayed open. We were doing takeout. We were doing deliveries, just because the state allowed that at the time. That's not something we do anymore. We still do takeout, but we don't do deliveries. I was loading up the car and driving, growlers and cans and everything to, people within I think we did a 10-mile radius.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's like we look back and it's like some of those March, April 2020 days, we were doing more business than we do like, on a Saturday in August. Like it's crazy. And I think we benefited from the fact that we were new and people liked us and didn't want to see us go away. So there was a big push, like support your local brewery, support your local bar, restaurant, all that.
Yeah.
Which I think like that wave really kept a lot of people in business.
Yeah, I mean, also the pandemic turned a lot of us into just like heavy drinkers. Like I
Yeah, sure.
remember I would just drink in my house and then go and then wake up with a hangover and work out and
Right.
then drink again just because like we were stuck.
No, yeah.
And
What were you really doing? Like most people weren't working. Most people, you couldn't go anywhere. What do you,
yeah.
people just, it's comfort. It's,
Yeah, I mean my industry was fucking gone. Like it
right.
was totally shut down. But like everybody was watching everything. So that was a weird it was a weird dichotomy because like like many of us were being told like your work's not important, but like people were literally like not
That's it.
dying because
Yes.
they were, watching it or reading a book or,
Yeah.
something. Um and you guys being open, like, yeah, like I know that we all wanted to keep you open because we liked you.
Right.
But you're also a lifeline. Like I remember I would like ride my bike and stand in your parking lot and just yell through your open door
Right.
because you were the only people that were around that also were like in your own bubble, like
Yeah.
that like I knew wouldn't give me COVID. So like
Well, it's kind of like the funny thing, like we noticed too, where it's like, yeah, there's separation on separation on separation, but we quickly noticed like this might be the only other human interaction that some of these people are having every day. So we take the time when we could, talk to people, how's it going?
yeah,
This is crazy. But it was nice. It wasn't nice, but it was nice to kind of be there and allowed to be open um throughout all of that. And it kept me busy, kept my mind off of what was going on.
everything. Yeah, all the
We got
shit.
to we celebrated our first 1 year anniversary, with no party.
Yeah, with
Uh
no party.
with no party. So that was like, I think even year two we couldn't really have a party. It was still social distance, all that. So
Yeah, you
year
had to be
three we
at
had
tables,
we
you
had
had
a
to
real
you
nice
had to have
anniversary
chips.
party.
You had to have those fucking chips
Lay's
all the
chips.
time.
Origin Oh no, it was Ruffles. It was Ruffles.
Ruffles, yeah. Somebody just said gotta keep the masses opiated. Preach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. How do you balance? I mean, that's a great, I mean, what you said is true and very smart. But also the comment coming in saying preach, um, you are in an industry where there are a lot of conflicting ideals and moral codes and
Yeah.
political stances.
Right.
Um, how do you keep that all from boiling over all the time? Like I know there are times where it happens and you've got to kind of like mitigate that and
Right.
uh, figure it the fuck out. But what, especially when people have alcohol in their bodies,
Yeah.
um, how do you keep that under control? Like,
I mean, luckily we don't have, I mean, we do really, how do I put this? We have a really nice clientele that nobody really gets too out of hand. We don't overserve. We don't really get people who, overindulged. So like some of the craziness we haven't really seen. I mean, you definitely get some people popping off at the mouth, with some, wild, you know, wild conspiracies or whatever. But for whatever reason, like we're mostly, people keep it pretty tame by us. But not to say it doesn't happen. I feel like that's any bar in America now. Um, but we do a good job of like kind of keeping people in check with that. Like, hey man, like take it easy, keep it
right.
down. Like there's other people here trying to enjoy their time. Like you just kind of like, I don't know, if you approach it the right way, which I feel like we do a pretty good job at, people get it. And like most people will understand like, oh, right. Sorry, I'm being loud. I'm talking too much. Like, we have told people like, hey man, if you want to keep talking like that, here's some to-go beer. Like, we sell
Right.
it. You can go take it to your garage and have whatever conversations you want.
I
Um,
do really respect that a lot because you keep it like a real community vibe, whereas a lot of places now, um, not that people shouldn't have strong opinions about things,
right.
but owners will allow places to turn into whatever it is that they believe in.
Right. Which
And
we never wanted that. Because again, like we want to be welcoming to all, and all
right.
means all, like all. So we don't want to how do I put this? Like we don't want to exclude anybody in any way, shape, or form. But that being said, we don't want to have anybody who's, going to offend or, anger or cause issues with anybody else. So we do a really good job. And I mean, I feel like it's the craft beer community in general. It's pretty even keel. It's pretty like, it's good. Like we don't have any issues with any crazy ideologies or anything like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I'll agree with that too. Like in the beginning of the craft beer boom or whatever, like I remember I would drive up to Maine or to Vermont or go to close by Massachusetts or whatever and wait online for God, like 4 or 5 fucking hours to buy maybe 6 cans from like Trillium or
Right.
Bissell Brothers or whatever.
Yeah.
And like you would just talk and talk and talk to all types of people that just love the same thing that you did.
Yeah, it's everyone's there for the same reason, right? Like
Yeah.
for the beer. Like that's it.
And it opened up all these communication lines that never would have happened before because you were forced to. You were waiting for a thing that was like more precious than gold at the time. Right. And if you got pissed and left, then you wouldn't get it. So you had to kind of like almost be in a like you'd be like, we're now in a romantic beer relationship and we have to work through these problems.
Right. No, that's it's kind of the great equalizer, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
pretty cool. Like, I like to say like we are a neighborhood place. We are like, I don't want to call it a townie bar, but like, being being from the town, opening a business in the town, like you'd think that, but we get people that come from all over the place. Every occupation, like you name it, like it's so across the board. We get actors, it's like
So yeah, so like I said earlier, you let me shoot a movie in your spot.
Yes.
Why would you do that? That's a crazy thing.
We're using it at night, so
No, I know you let me do it, and what's up? Sorry.
So why not?
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's always people don't know what's gonna come into their spot,
Right.
like when a person's like, I want to do a thing, like people are like, oh, that sounds cool. It'll be like you and one other person. It's like, no.
Oh, yeah, full on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a bunch of fucking people and a bunch of food and makeup and prosthetics and special effects and crazy shit. So I'll always be grateful for that. It's a thing that it very rarely gets done in the way that it got done, like it was cool, dude, and I never really knew why you said yes, but I'm happy you did.
Hey, man, appreciate it. No, I mean, it's cool to say like, hey, yeah, something was shot here. I'm a movie guy. I'm a film guy.
Yeah.
TV guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have your spot in my next script.
All right.
This will be like, I'll like get a actual budget and pay for it, but yeah.
Cool. Deal.
Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, it'll be great. But that's how it happens. As free advertisement law.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. But cool. I mean, were you like, did you make movies in the past? Were you into?
So I mean, growing up, me and my neighbors and like other kids in the neighborhood, we did make movies. Like we were those kids. We made a Superman movie, which I got out of the most recent one, and I texted my buddy and I was like, yo, man, I'm like, this was good. I don't know, we might have had it beat. But that was an interest for a while. I did say before I was originally a graphic design major when I went to college. I did change to TV broadcasting. I was going down that road for a little bit, and then I didn't. Life happened, but I landed on beer, and I get to do a little bit of all that, the graphic design. Not so much TV, but I mean, apparently News 12, so that worked.
Yeah, I mean, that's the news. That's
news.
That's news. Yeah. Well, cool. Wait, so what does this person say? He doesn't believe in the moon landing. That's probably in reference to trying to keep ideologies neutral. But I will say that if anyone comes into the brewery and says that they don't believe in the moon landing, they will have to leave.
I might entertain it for a little bit. I want to see what's your facts? What do you got?
I want to hear about it.
I we don't need to get a different podcast.
No, it's a different podcast, but yeah,
different podcast.
Oh, science deniers are my favorite folks, but anyway, so all right, I got off track with that moon landing thing. Thanks, chat. I hate you. No, I love you. So wanted to be an actor, ended up in beer. Probably not the first person in that situation. So he didn't want to be an actor. He didn't want to be an actor.
Behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah. He wanted to
direct.
He wanted to direct. He wanted to make stuff. He wanted to be in broadcasting. Hey man, you still can do it. It's not like it's out of the realm of possibility.
No.
Chat's being salty today. Chat, you're so salty. What are you being so salty for? Shit. Love it. I mean, I like it. There's a bunch of like laughing emojis, so I guess it's a joke. I can't read. I don't know how to read emotions. Ended up in beer though. I mean, someone's saying hello from Panama, Ken. Oh, hi.
Hello.
What's up, Panama? Thanks for watching us talk about beer and stuff. And about things of that nature. So what are your long-term, what do you want to do with the brewery in the next 5, 10 years? Do you want to upscale? Do you want to
I mean, honestly, I would like to more distribution, which I would have to, increase my capacity a little bit. But I'm not out to, become the next big thing. That's not why we opened this. I'm just happy to make a living doing what we're doing. And if I could sell more beer in the process, great. We want to get more canning done. We were doing a lot of canning. We kind of had to take a step back from that. But that's something we're ramping back up. And then just to get the brand out there a little bit more. But again, we're not trying to go interstate or anything like that. It's, keep it local, keep it Long Island, even I'm just happy, in my little bubble. As long as it's working, it's working. I don't have, these crazy expansion plans, nothing like that.
So why do you think we don't see more of the craft brew in that area in the local bars?
I think that's a lot to do with some of the way these larger distribution companies, they kind of influence that heavily.
Okay.
They may, offer deals on their products if you fill the lines with just brands they represent. So you get a lot of that squeezes out the smaller guys. That's not to say that there are bars that support local breweries heavily. There's some bars, that I know that, go out of their way to make sure they're getting, an IPA from this guy or whatever, carry the local pumpkin beer, carry the local summer ale. But it is definitely pulled back a little bit since COVID. It's gone more macro brewery for most bars around here. And also it's the seltzer thing now. That's been the new fad for a couple of years.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's That's what it is. But you know, beer has been being brewed since 3000 BC at least. So it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, hard seltzers, a flash in the pan. Again, I don't think that's going to go anywhere, but it's ebbs and flows.
Well,
Beers
people want to get hammered without the calories, right?
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Like I get it. I get it. We do make a seltzer. I get it. It took me a couple of years to get on board with that, but we do it now.
I got a question about hops, man. What is your stance on European hops?
European. I mean, we use a lot of German hops for, you know, our German style beers. Those are my favorite German lagers. Those are my favorite to brew, my favorite to drink. So we do use a lot of German hops. Some Czech hops if I'm making a Czech Pilsner, which we have fermenting right now. But you know, mostly like I'll use those for those styles of beers. IPAs, I'm using American or Australian, New Zealand hops. And then that's, you know, pretty much it. Most of the hops like we do use are grown in America though, from, you know, Yakima Valley, Washington, or, you know, Idaho.
Cool. No, that's cool. Sorry, this person seems like a big Germany guy. All right, I'm not gonna ask any more questions. All right, thanks. I don't know.
Feeling I know who's doing.
Yeah, who's Andy?
Yeah, that's Andy. I had a feeling.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that person?
Yeah, I know that person.
All right, cool. Sorry, Andy. I'll be nicer to you.
Andrew, you're a troll.
Nice. Nice. Thanks.
I'll use your government name, brother.
I mean, but what is the difference? I mean, I'm going to use this now. So what is the difference?
Think like wine. Like they have terroir. Like it's the, you know, like Czech hops will be like almost like a little more spicy. German hops a little more floral. The American hops, like the New World hops, like America, New Zealand, Australia, like almost like more fruity or aromatic. So like again, depending on what flavor you're going for, is gonna, you know, determine what kind of hops you're going with. And then
cool.
The hops have different oil and acid content. So like, you know, you want a big bitter beer, you need a big high acid, high oil, hop. That's really going to up that bitterness.
What the fuck is a barley wine?
A barley wine. I like barley wines. We brewed one with our friends at Spiderbite Brewing.
Yeah,
we've actually aged that in blackberry brandy barrels. That beer was killer. So barley wine is just a really, it's a stronger beer. It's an older style of beer. Like that's an older English style of beer. And it's just, you know, higher alcohol. It's brewed with malted barley. We think we use some flaked barley in that too. And it's like more roasted, more like full body, like darker brown type ale. And they can really hold up well to like a higher alcohol percentage. They balance out well. And then they hold up really well for aging. So that's why we aged ours in a you know, an old brandy barrel. But people will put those in the bottle. They'll age those another 10 years, and then, you know, put those out, and they age really well like a wine.
That's a much better answer than every answer I have ever gotten before. Just because it's usually like, oh, because there's like an ABV, so it can be called a beer. So like anything over that, it's
still technically a beer. Still technically, yeah.
No, yeah, but like no one's it's like it was an old style English, you know, like and the we age it like wine makes a lot more sense than we just have this name for a thing because we're not allowed to call it beer anymore.
It was. I think the name. I could be wrong on this, but the name originally came because they were more close to the alcohol percentage of wines. So it was like, oh, it's a barley based wine, as opposed to grape wine or whatever.
Yeah, cool. No, and it's true. Like there are a lot of beers that I've had, like specifically like stouts and porters and barley wines that like are as complex, if not more so, than many wines.
Yeah, absolutely. You get totally different notes. Like you get toffee, caramels, like maple syrup sometimes. Like you get these really deep, dark notes that you're not going to get in wine.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great. I love beer way too much, but yeah, it's great. What was to say? And an angel lost his wings, parentheses, the beard. So you weren't here in the beginning of the stream, but my beard will grow back. Don't worry. Also, I'd like you to think about if this was you, if you changed something about yourself and then people started screaming at you about how much they hate the way that you look, how that would make you feel. Would it make you feel good or bad? A or B? So, like, I love you all, but like the beard will come back, hair grows, and everything will be okay. And if you only like me because of my beard, then we shouldn't be friends, because I'm so much more than just my beard. I'm full of emotions and sparkle dust and other things. Anyway. Well, cool, man. So I love that answer. How, going back to the question that I asked you before about what you want to be doing in 5 or 10 years, it to me that is a really, that's the right answer. Like, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing, and I want to do it better. I want to make more money, but I don't need to become like a Budweiser or an InBev. Because then you don't have to sacrifice quality for market value or whatever.
Sure, there's all that.
There's all that stuff. Would you sell to a large conglomerate if the offer came in?
Look, I'm not going to sit here and say no, but I don't think that's happening anymore. It's been a long time, and I think they've kind of wisened up to the fact that like you get pushback on that. Yeah, I don't know. I think those days are gone where you're getting $10 million offers for your brewery.
Yeah.
You might get more like, more like from somebody who wants to open a brewery, but you did all the legwork, so here you go. But I think the days of the buyouts like that are over, at least for now. 5-10 years, we'll see if
see what happens. Yeah.
Swings back. Who knows? We'll see. And again, like, yeah, somebody's offering you that much money, like,
yeah, why not? You might think about it.
Yeah.
You might open another one. Yeah.
Great. I could do something else. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I like what I do. And yeah, no, I'm okay where I'm at right now. So,
awesome. Well, we are over an hour. This has been a wonderful time for me. I don't know if it's been for you, but I ask everybody this at the end. So I ask everybody that is operating at a high level in their industry this question. Do you have any advice for people starting out now? It's a totally new landscape. It's there's less margin for error. There's intense competition. What advice would you have for a person trying to get into beer now?
I think like my biggest piece of advice is to come ready to work, like come ready to go. Like you can't come out the gate with the product not being top tier anymore. There's no room for error. And I think you have to know your product and have like quality's got to be there. Like it's got to be there. Like you can't, no slacking, bring it right out the gate. And I will say like the brewing is the easy part. Everything else in the business that's what's going to keep you up at night. Making beer is the fun part.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
Was that a surprise? Like the business part of it, did it kind of hit you like a hammer, or
I mean, more or less. I kind of anticipated some of it. I just didn't anticipate how much more time I'd be spending on things not having to do with making beer. Especially running a tasting room. Like I'm running a bar. So it's, things break, things need cleaning. I wish I could just do the beer part, but that's not my business. So I do a little bit of everything. It's fun.
I wish I could just do the acting part, but I have to do all the
No,
other stuff too.
I'm in the office more than I want to be. But it's the payoff is I get to make beer. So
yeah. Well, cool, man. Thank you so much for being on my show.
Oh, thanks for having me.
It was a nice hour. It went fast. That dude Andy is asking if you'll close out the show by playing a song on that guitar.
I don't think it's in tune. I played the intro to a song.
Oh, good. We got a person saying hello from Brazil. And then any advice for photography business? I just started an LLC for photography. I don't have any advice about that.
I was working for another guy, so.
Oh yeah, who were you working for? Like a.
I worked for. I was doing like sports photography, and then I was doing one of the companies that do like picture days for schools. So I was that guy.
Oh, cool.
Put your feet on the tape. Look here. Smile.
Yeah, smile. Pose.
I'd wake up in the middle of the night and say the line. Like look over here. Smile. Cheese. One,
smile. Yeah. Well, nice, man. All right, cool, dude. Thank you so much. I will let you go back to your life and to your family, and I will speak to you soon. Thanks so much, Ken.
Later, Josh.
Later. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming and watching the live stream live. For people that just got here, I'm so sorry. You can watch the replay on my YouTube page. For everyone that is watching the replay, thank you so much. I know I'm speaking to you from the past, and that's weird. But life is weird sometimes. For everybody hearing this on the audio only, thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to speak to you again next week on the live stream live. Thanks again, and have a beautiful rest of your evening. Bye.